and welcome to this edition of DMS 3000 News Live. I'm your host, Jason DeCanio, and it is a new time for the show for episode 62 on this October 30th, 2023. Hope you're having a fantastic Halloween week, as the next two shows are all Halloween themed. All of our commercials will be Halloween, and we'll be celebrating with you here, talking about some fantastic things that are in relation to Halloween. And we know that for a fact. We welcome you to all of our new viewers who are checking us out for the first time on the new time slot. And we welcome back our old viewers who are expecting us at 8 o'clock this morning, now at its new permanent time, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. We are here. Okay? Today on the program, we're going to be looking at the history of the pumpkin. Yeah. You know, the history of the pumpkin gets traced back many, many generations ago. There's a history to it, and we'll start to see what's going on with that. The history of trick-or-treating. It's been here forever. How it began is what's the important thing we're going to be looking at today. And the 76th anniversary of the United Inner City Education Relief Fund, UNICEF, they trick-or-treat, and they help great charity and cause for those who need it. So we'll look at UNICEF later on in the program. Also, we have the news of the weird. What date is today? The headlines, sports, and other important information. And our special guest, who's going to be the editorial today, is our CEO and head of the David 3000 Network, David St. Dennis, who will be here for the last half hour of the program to talk about a very special topic that he has to get off of his chest. So he will give you the editorial coming up later on in the program. All of this and more, ready to go on our ticker, which we got there. We're ready for today, starting with the headlines and sports and other important information. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. There was a lot going on today since this is a new week. So we look at NPR. La, 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 the news. This is what we want. Yes. Okay, these are the headlines for today, October 30th, 2023. Judge reimposes gag order on Trump in federal election interference case. The ruling puts back in place the restrictions that bar Trump from making public statements targeting prosecutors, court staff, and likely witnesses. In the Middle East crisis, the conflict between Israel and Palestinians and other groups in the Middle East goes back decades. These stories provide context for current developments and the history that led up to them. In the West Bank city of Jenin, Israeli raids and strikes leave Palestinians weary. In Jenin, at least 11 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli strikes and raids in over just a week, officials say. The heightened pace of violence has frightened residents. And how Black socialite Molly Moon raised millions to fund the civil rights movement. Historian Tanisha Ford tells the story of the Harlem activist credited with raising millions to build economic and racial equality in the U.S. Ford's new book, Is Our Secret Society? And it's unlikely, but not impossible, to limit global warming to 1.5 Celsius, study finds. Humans are still pumping enormous amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. That puts this decade's climate goals further out of reach. The UAW reaches a tentative deal with GM, the last holdout of Detroit's Big Three. Record deals with all three unionized automakers means this historic 6-week strike is ending for now. The deals still need to be ratified by members who could choose to go back to the table. And the first briefing, Gazans describe a communication blackout in Biden's new AI oversight. Gaza residents share what it's like living through a communications blackout. President Biden is expected to announce an executive order that aims to rein in artificial intelligence. Israel presses into Gaza as pro-Palestinian protests spread worldwide. Since the intensified operation began Friday night, Israeli airstrikes have hit more than 600 Hamas targets, Israel said, and about 1,000 people in Gaza were killed, the Gaza Health Ministry said. Iranian teenage girl who collapsed on Tehran subway has died, state media says. The reported death of Armida Guruvand comes after her being in a coma for weeks and after the 1 year anniversary of the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini, which sparked nationwide protest at the time. Radio Diaries is a nonprofit project that works with people to document their own lives in their own words for public radio. Teens, seniors, prison inmates, and others whose voices are rarely heard. Produced by Joe Richmond, the audio documentaries air on All Things Considered. Less snacking, more satisfaction. Some foods boost levels of an Ozempic-like hormone. Popular weight loss drugs mimic GLP-1, a hormone that the body makes naturally after eating. Turns out some foods trigger GLP-1 better than others, making us feel full and eat less. Well, she talked about depression at a checkup and got billed for 2 visits. Completing a routine depression screening questionnaire during annual checkup is cost-free under federal law, but as one woman described or discovered, answering a doctor's follow-up questions might not be. And no candy for you, as some towns ban older kids from trick-or-treating on Halloween. When kids are too old to go trick-or-treating, in some U.S. towns, it's illegal for teenagers to indulge in the sweetest part of Halloween. One even threatened jail time. Wow. And Biden plans to step up government oversight of AI with new pressure tests. The White House will require A1 companies or AI companies to test new systems and submit the results to the federal government. The goal is to mitigate some risks as the technology rapidly develops. And a passenger train slams into another southern India, killing 13 people. The incoming train slammed into a stationary train in Andhra Pradesh state's Vizianagaram district. Wow, causing a derailment of at least 3 rail cars, senior railway officials said. Canadian workers reached deal to end strike that shut down Great Lakes shipping artery. A deal was reached Sunday to end a week-long strike that had shut down a major shipping artery in the Great Lakes, halting the flow of grain and other goods from the U.S. and Canada. Multiple mass shootings over Halloween weekend leave 11 dead and scores injured. Authorities are investigating shootings in Texas, Indiana, Florida, Illinois, Georgia, and other states, and many of the shootings took place at the sites of large gatherings early Sunday. California's ban on assault weapons will remain in effect after judges grant a stay. By a 2-1 margin, an appeals court ruled that the law will remain in place until after it hears arguments on a lower court's ruling that struck down the law. And this isn't us. Close-knit Lewiston begins to recover from the deadly mass shooting. After the shelter-in-place orders were lifted and the suspect's body was found, residents of Maine's second-largest city are seeking normal again. Hurricane Otis, death toll rises to 48, while searchers comb through debris in Acapulco. Dozens of people are still missing as aid slowly continues to flow into the region. Otis rapidly intensified to a Category 5 storm before crashing ashore last week, actually. What is a walking school bus? Hint, it has no tires, but lots of feet and lots of soul. So what is a walking school bus? A new children's book set in South Africa tells the story of some intrepid youngsters who figured out a way to stay safe during their long walk to class. And finally, Gaza residents break into UN warehouse for supplies as Israeli barrage continues. Thousands of Gaza residents broke into warehouses and distribution centers of the United Nations Palestinian Refugee Agency, grabbing flour and basic survival items, the organization said on Sunday. And that's a look at the headlines for today, Monday, October 30th, 2023. Time now for the sports. We've got the World Series going on right now, and I think the game is tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. World Series Game 3 tied at 1 apiece tonight at 8:03. It's going to be very interesting to see what's going on here. Who are you pulling for? The Rangers or the Diamondbacks? Myself, not really interested. Have other things going on with that one. All right. Let's go now to the NBA and the scores for today. We've got games from last night. Let's look at them. The Nuggets beat the Thunder 128-95. It was the Hawks over the Bucks 127-110. The Warriors upset the Rockets 106-95. 76ers take care of the Trailblazers 126-98. The Kings over the Lakers in an upset 132-127. The Clippers, they take care of the Spurs 123-83. Today's games start tonight. Nets at Hornets at 7 o'clock. Celtics at Wizards at 7. The Bulls go to Indiana to play the Pacers at 7. The Trailblazers play the Raptors at 7:30. The Timberwolves at the Hawks at 7:30. Warriors go to New Orleans to see the Pelicans at 8 o'clock. The Heat go to visit Milwaukee and the Bucks at 8 o'clock. Pistons versus the Thunder at 8 o'clock in Oklahoma City. It's the Mavericks at the Grizzlies at 8 o'clock tonight. At 9, it's the Jazz and the Nuggets. And at 10:30 tonight, the Magic host or play host. No, they don't play host. They go visit the Lakers in L.A. at 10:30 tonight. NHL right now. Let's get to it. Got the scores going on right here. These are all finals from yesterday. Let's see. These were finals from yesterday. Sabres over the Avalanche 4-0. It was the Capitals over the Sharks 3-1. Devils beat the Wild 4-3. And the Oilers beat the Flames 5-2. Tonight, the Ducks will visit the Penguins in Pittsburgh at 7. The Kraken will go to Tampa Bay to play the Lightning at 7. Panthers will go to Boston to see the Bruins at 7. Hurricanes and Flyers will match up at 7 tonight in Philly. And the Rangers will go to Winnipeg to play the Jets. The Red Wings and the Islanders in the Nassau Coliseum. Well, more or less, they'll play on the island there. It's the Islanders at home ice. The Blue Jackets go to Dallas to see the Stars at 8 o'clock. Oh, that Islanders-Red Wings game is at 7:30, just to remind you. Canadians at the Golden Knights at 10 o'clock tonight. And the Blackhawks will visit the Phoenix Coyotes at 10 o'clock. Also tomorrow, you have 2 games with the Kings and the Maple Leafs at 8 and the Predators and the Canucks at 10 o'clock tomorrow. That is a look at the NHL, the NBA, and the MLB. All good stuff going on. We'll look at football games tomorrow on the program because, as you know, Tuesday is our football day where we look at all of the games, including the Thursday night game from Thursday night and all Sunday games. And then tonight, the Monday night football game has the Raiders and the Lions for all of you watching at 8 o'clock tonight. All right. Coming up, when we take a break, we're going to look at news of the weird and then what day is today. All of this and much more when we come back right after this on DMS 3000 News Live.
Dip, 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 dip. Granola dip. I really dip, dip, granola dip. Chocolate and granola already in my home. Granola dip, dip, dip.
Quaker Granola Dips, a hauntingly wholesome Halloween treat. Chewy granola dipped in real milk chocolate.
Chocolate and granola, lose my self-control. A granola dip.
The perfect treat for your little monsters.
Gosh, Burger Chef, it's Wolfburger the werewolf.
Where can I get delicious burgers? Where can I get fun food? Where, oh where?
At Burger Chef.
Where?
And now at participating Burger Chefs, you can buy fun meals that now come on Halloween magic meal trays. There's a magic trick in each fun meal. There are 10 different magic meal tricks you can collect.
Burger Chef, you're incredible.
Dear Great Pumpkin, I'm looking forward to your arrival on Halloween night.
They're back, all the little Peanuts characters, in a happy Halloween special, filled with ghosties and ghoulies and things that go bump in the night. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, Monday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
10 singers, 9 singers, 8 yummy singers, 7 singers, 6 singers, 5 tasty singers.
Everyone wants to zap gold cake with vanilla frosting, devil's food with chocolate, raspberry with coconut, all with cream centers.
Please one singer to zap.
Right now, in specially marked bonus packs, you'll find a pumpkin decorating kit and 2 extra zingers.
Trick or treat!
1 trick and 2 treats from Dolly Madison.
Next to my big friend, I love the big taste of chocolate in this little Hershey's Kiss.
Hershey's Kisses, the little kiss with the big taste.
Hallmark's ready for Halloween, and you know, it's the strangest thing. Everybody's wild about new scratch and sniff stickers in special trick-or-treat packages, and they're dying to take home these cuddly pumpkin bean bags. And these party decorations are so popular, they seem to just disappear. So come to Hallmark, the Halloween store. We're waiting for you.
Goblins, werewolves, vampires. They're not real, but he is a real nightmare. Jamie Lee Curtis, Donald Pleasance. It's the night he came home. Halloween 2, Thursday at 8 on Channel 17. Parental discretion advised.
I knew I should have worn a costume. Yo, Bo Peep, what you got in your bag?
Introducing Roy Rogers' Big Chicken Deal. 2 plump and juicy pieces of fried chicken, hot, crisp fries, and a fresh baked biscuit. Roy Rogers' Big Chicken Deal, just $1.99.
Don't you even think about it.
They are the children of the corn. They must obey he who walks among the rows. And they live in a world where adults are not allowed to live. Children of the corn. A new kind of nightmare. An adult nightmare. Stephen King's Children of the Corn. Rated R.
Coming Friday. Check local newspapers for theaters and showtimes.
Welcome back to DMS 3000 News Live. It's episode 62 at our new time from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Now afternoons, weekdays here on the David 3000 Network. Well, let's go now to News of the Weird. As you know, every Monday, none of the format really changes here except for our time. Now we go to the News of the Weird, and today the note to editors. Please be aware of the content in the last item subtitled, Wait, What? Yes, the editors at Andrews McNeil Syndication for the week of October 27, 2023. Here are the lead stories. Halloween fun. At Plymouth State University in New Hampshire, a mystery occurs every year at Halloween. 2 pumpkins become impaled on the twin spires of the clock tower in the middle of campus. United Press International reported that the pumpkins have appeared since the 1970s, but no one seems to know who puts them there or how they do it. Conjuring the best, if far-fetched, the tale on how it happens is a favorite campus pastime, the university's website reads. And it can only happen in Utah, as city officials in Grantsville took to Facebook on October 18th to demand that a Halloween display centered on a street sign be removed, Fox 13 Now TV reported. The tableau featured a skeleton pole dancing, while 2 other skeletons sat in folding chairs with dollar bills in their hands. Displays like this are not acceptable, as it is against city code to attach anything to a street sign, the city wrote, and the pranksters complied. They moved the display to a front yard with a new lighted pole, lights on the ground to make a stage, and a tip jar. One commenter on the city's page gushed, "I salute the Halloween decoration wizard that created this masterpiece." 28-year-old Helen Schweizer of Wooster, Ohio, embraced her vampirism 2 years ago on Halloween, the Columbus Dispatch reported. "Not every vampire is bad," she explained. "I follow a higher path. For instance, I'm not interested in sucking anyone's blood, but living as a vampire with fangs, white makeup, and a black cloak just felt right." For the social media manager, Schweizer said that the sun makes me nauseous and she gains most of her energy at night. I come out of the coffin. I came out of the coffin, as it were, and I never felt so free in my life. Yep. While Amar Khan and Kat Warren of Washington, D.C. were visiting the Eiffel Tower in Paris on October 19th, they became stranded along with other tourists at the top when a man was discovered climbing the structure. On hand with the couple was Associated Press reporter Pat Eaton Robb, who was also visiting. Lucky for them, Eaton Robb caught the moment when Khan decided to propose. He had been planning to do so later that evening at the restaurant, but she always wanted to be proposed to on or under the Eiffel Tower. So I figured, this is it. This is the moment, Khan said. And while romance was in the air atop the tower, police were arresting the climber, who was inexplicably carrying a banner that said something about singer-songwriter Billie Eilish. An unnamed 22-year-old man in Warsaw, Poland, outwitted mall security guards for a time after twice posing in a store window as a mannequin. The New York Times reported on October 20th, the man stood still next to two other mannequins and held a bag until the mall closed, when he stole jewelry from a kiosk. On another occasion, he ate one of the mall's restaurants, found a new set of clothing. He ate at one of the mall's restaurants, found a new set of clothing, and headed back for another meal. Well, police arrested the suspect, who faces up to 10 years in prison. Since September 20th, 25-year-old Alejandro Rios has become the target of a dive-bombing magpie who follows him as he rides his bike home from work. Fox News reported on October 18th that the Brisbane, Australia resident first felt something hit his head more than a month ago. I thought a piece of fruit had fallen off of a tree or someone had hit me, he said. Rios' helmet and eyewear protect him from the injury, but the bird is persistent. Scientists say magpies remember faces, and this is more likely protecting his young. It's a bit of a friend and a bit of a nemesis, Rios said of his attacker. I want to say it's my friend, but it really, really hates me. It hates me. Oh, it doesn't hate you, just very protective of it. Okay. Two men in Minnesota who were shot on October 22nd in September incidents involving child shooters who were participating in youth hunting events, CBS News reported. In the first case, the 45-year-old dad from Becker Township had his 12-year-old daughter in a deer stand where she had just successfully shot a deer, but then she accidentally shot her father in the leg. Another family member applied a tourniquet until emergency personnel arrived. In the second incident, the 50-year-old man was trying to explain to a 10-year-old boy how to unload a hunting rifle when the child accidentally pulled the trigger, somehow hitting both of the adults' buttocks. No news on the condition of either victim. Someone posted a video on Weibo on October 19th that captured a man climbing into a malt container in Pingdu, China brewery, Sing Sao, and relieving himself. Oh boy. Sky News reported. The Sky News, which identifies itself as the world's sixth largest beer maker, released a statement saying the batch of malt in question has been completely sealed and police are investigating. However, the company's stock took a sizable hit, with share prices dropping 7.5% by October 23rd. A particular house in Haddonfield, New Jersey, appears to be the victim of very bad luck or a serial car arsonist, WPVI TV reported. And police say the most recent attack on October 21st around 1 a.m. was the third at the house since 2017, putting, strangely, all incident. Let's see. That's right. Security cameras captured a person pouring gasoline on a 2010 Toyota Highlander and lighting it up. Police say they don't believe the attacks are aimed at the people who live there, who are doing everything right. They have a camera system. They're calling us, but just unfortunately, it keeps happening. Members of the Auburn, Massachusetts Fire Department knew Debbie Virgilio well, the Worcester Telegram and Gazette reported on October 25th. First responders had transported her frequently during her final years, but when she passed last year, they had no idea of the plans she had made for them. Virgilio left the department $525,000 in her will. They used the money to buy a new ambulance and updated equipment. Fire Chief Stephen Coleman said, "It means a lot to me, as the chief, to know my people made such an impact on somebody. They're willing to donate $500,000 to pass where even if it's a statement to the men and women of this department. Cheers to Debbie." And finally, Jad K. Shipman, 48, of Longview, Washington, was arrested on October 17th on 2 counts: soliciting a prostitute and first-degree attempted animal cruelty. Big Country News reported a Vice detective who had been monitoring an online forum identified Shipman in August. Allegedly, he offered $440 for a person to come to Longview and sexually touch him in his miniature horse. Ooh! Shipman is out on bail and prohibited from being around animals. And that was from Big Country News, and they told us about that one. Thank you very much for all of that. And send your weird news items with subject line to Weird News at weirdnewstips@amuniversal.com. There you have it, folks. 2034 will be a good year. How do you figure? Hey, Jason. How's it going with you? It's going good, Luke. Thank you for asking. And Game Show Fan 2001. It's going well there. 2034 will be a good year, I guess, right? And Brandon Martin says hi. Welcome, everybody, to the new time slot. I hope this is more convenience for you. And remember, of course, every day at this time, News of the Weird will be here for you. So enjoy that. And we'll see you on the program next week for more News of the Weird and Andrews McMeel syndication. All right. What today is the holiday? Well, as you know, tomorrow is going to be Halloween, but I don't think they classify. Hey, what did I do? What the heck? That's not right. What holiday is today? Well, let's take a look and see what we have, gentlemen. Anything good food-wise? Let's see. Oh, okay. 1, 2. Okay, 2 of them today. And the first one we're going to look at is Haunted Refrigerator Night. Oh my God. Yep, there's nothing more terrifying than old moldy food in the fridge. And that is why Haunted Refrigerator Night on October 30th is such a great holiday, a night for ghostly occurrences and hauntings. This night fits right into the spirit of the Halloween festival, which is the next day. October 30th is also Mischief Night, Cabbage Night, or the Night of the Devil, and is a fun way to remove the lurking dangers lying in wait at the back of your refrigerator. So the tradition of storing food in cold places has been around for a long time, since the ancient Persians. Historians believe they were the first to use cold storage for food, although the ice was harvested for various purposes since 1000 BC. Societies like the Greeks, Romans, and Hebrews also stored snow in insulated materials to keep their food cool, according to various sources. Back then, ice harvesting was the only way to refrigerate food. People would preserve ice collected during the winter season in cold stores to use in the summer. And by the 19th century, this method was replaced by using the use of ice boxes that were usually made of wood and had a large block of ice inside to keep things chilly. The ice box is commonly called the early precursor to the refrigerator. Then came Frederick Tudor. This American businessman and founder of the Tudor Ice Company realized that he could easily ship ice from the ponds of Massachusetts to the Caribbean. Years later, he was shipping ice practically everywhere, from the Caribbean to Europe to India and even Hong Kong. His contributions to the ice trade earned him the moniker of Ice King in Boston, and he showed the hotter tropical countries just how much they needed ice. And by the 30s, ice was a mass market commodity all over the world. However, because it was difficult to harvest ice and dangerous too, as people had to extract it from frozen ponds, multiple people tried to invent artificial means of refrigeration. The first person with relative success at this endeavor was Scottish professor William Cullen, who designed a small refrigerating machine in 1755. But the amount of ice generated from this machine was too little for the invention to be considered practical. But over the next decade, multiple inventors would similarly try their hand at inventing refrigerating devices, and many of these earlier inventions made it to the consumer market as well. Over time, the design became more streamlined and the engines more eco-friendly, and the storage spaces larger. So much so that we can now store food for a long time until they barely resemble what they once were. The 21st century has left us spoiled for choice in terms of food storage options. We have various designs, models, sizes, and functionalities. And this may be the reason why sometimes we sometimes cannot find leftovers in the vast depths of our chilly caverns. This also may be why American actor Thomas Roy and his wife decided to create Haunted Refrigerator Night as a special holiday. And what better time to tackle the scary mess that is your refrigerator than the night before Halloween? According to these perennial holiday creators, they have created more than 75 holidays in all, and they had not had a tradition of cleaning out the horrors in their fridge right before Halloween each year. And the idea sprung from this. Whatever the reason, we are glad to get a little push to clean out our refrigerators. Well, here's how it all started. 400 BC, the Yakchal system is invented, as ancient Persians invent a system to make ice in winter and store it through the summer in a hot desert climate, no less, to be used for multiple purposes, including food preservation. In the 18th century, English servants store ice in underground rooms where it is flannel wrapped and packed with salt to keep it frozen until summertime. 1806, Frederick Tudor becomes the Iceman. The founder of Tudor Ice Company suggests is exporting ice cream frozen in New England ponds to hot countries all over the world. That makes him one of the richest Americans of his time with ice cream and earns him the nickname Ice. Ice Baby, right? Yeah. The early 1860s, Americans are introduced to the early version of the refrigerator, the icebox, and they become common devices among the middle and upper class. The early 1910s, the first home refrigerator is introduced. The first home refrigerators are considered a luxury for even the wealthiest Americans. Then companies like Whirlpool introduced the single units, which require less installation and maintenance. And here are some stuff to go ahead and celebrate this national pastime. So how to celebrate Haunted Refrigerator Night. So expel the unsafe food. That's the first thing you do. Out with the old, muster all your courage and dig into your refrigerator for all those smelly expired foods that you cannot possibly consume anymore and toss them out. A terrifying business, yes, but it must be done. So dress in your protective gear, hold your breath, gather your loved ones, and delve deep into your refrigerator. Secondly, do a refrigerator deep clean. Since you are already cleaning, you might as well take the opportunity to wipe down the entire refrigerator just to make sure all the poor haunted food spirits and germs are gone. Turn it off. Take out all of your frozen food temporarily, remove the partitions, and clean all the surfaces with a common cloth rag, and some bleach to keep them sterilized. And then make a promise to yourself and your family that you will always keep the refrigerator clean and haunt-free. Promise that you will actually use your leftovers in the year to come. And finally, promise that you will share your food with other people while it is still fresh so it doesn't go to waste. Here's 5 facts about refrigerators. 1, refrigeration is no obstacle to bacterial growth. See, some foodborne pathogens can grow even in refrigerated temperatures, which is why companies recommend keeping the temperature at 40 degrees Fahrenheit or below. If you don't have an ice maker in your refrigerator, the back of the bottom shelf or the area closest to the ice cubes are the coolest spots. And do the doors of a warm refrigerator stay warm? We're opening air from when open. I'm sorry. Let me do this again. Doors are the warmest spots. So let's see. Warm air from opening and closing the doors. Hit food stored on the doors first. So highly perishable items like eggs should not be kept there. Overcrowding spoils food. Loading the refrigerator with too many items blocks the air vents, causing poor circulation of cold air, which means food gets spoiled faster. And the hot leftovers, they go in the fridge. Hot food can go directly into the fridge, but they need to be in smaller portions and stored in shallow containers to allow safe cooling and prevent bacteria growth. Why we love Haunted Refrigerator Night? Well, getting acquainted with your fridge. Explore the nooks and crannies of our precious refrigerators gives us an in-depth look at the workings and forgotten foodstuffs. We can honestly say we know out our refrigerators much better than at this night. And moreover, spring cleaning, we are on some new traditional, although should be really a daily or weekly thing, to clean out the unidentifiable and unusable items. And it is pro-sustainability and anti-waste. So instead of leaving leftovers in the refrigerator for so long, they resemble hazardous waste this day or night that pushes us to use our food. This reduces the chances of having spoiled food that has to be tossed away. And there you have it, friends. National Hollywood Studios Night. Very good. Now, on to the next one. One that I don't like, but I don't know for all you big fans out there, if you like we have National Candy Corn Day. Yeah. National Candy Corn Day. I don't like this. I don't like candy corn at all, but it's an autumn treat for everyone. They are commonplace in store windows and at party. We eat them like popcorn by the handful, and so it seems only natural that we celebrate them for a day. Would you believe that technically they are a vegetable? Well, they are. Whether you grab some from your kitchen table or eat small packets, candy corn returns every year, and it's not going anywhere. So grab a handful and join us for National Candy Corn Day. Just reading about it gives me a headache. George Ringener, who worked at Wonderly Candy Company, created candy corn in the 1800s. Working out of Philadelphia, he invented it to celebrate what he believed to be the beauty of corn juxtaposed with autumn colors. Winter was cold, dark, and long on the bright colors of candy that would last for a long time, bringing optimism and joy as well as a burst of sugar. Well, specialized candy for Halloween turned out to be a winning idea, with different Halloween candies becoming increasingly popular over time. Wonderly was credited for being the first to sell candy corn commercially, even though Golet's, also known as Jelly Belly, is the most linked to commercial candy corn sales. Candy corn began its life as food for chickens and used to be available between March and November only. It was originally a type of mellow cream known as buttercream candies. The name was changed in the 1950s to false advertising, and it had no butter inside it. The original the original method of making candy corn was to pour each color into molds separately, but this was a very time-consuming process. The steep was farther, and later on, marshmallow and fondant started being added, and then so was Carnauba wax. Today, the recipe is pretty similar and gives us plenty of energy for trick-or-treating. Still don't like, I don't like candy corn at all. Okay, 1898, the sweet business. The second generation of Goetz candy makers starts a candy corn business. 1940s, companies begin using clear cellophane bags to keep their candy corn fresh. 1997, Candy Corn River in the TV room. A Halloween episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch airs called A River of Candy Corn Runs Through It. And in 2016, annual production in the U.S. is 35 million pounds. Wow. So, what are you going to do on this activity day today? You're going to make candy corn cookies. Try the many great recipes online for homemade candy corn cookies. Make the usual cookie dough batter and sprinkle in candy corn instead of chocolate chips. These may turn out to be your favorite Halloween snack. Well, and you can also add it to other snacks as well. Add candy corn to your popcorn or make a Halloween trail mix with peanuts, M&Ms, or even cereal. You can always make candy corn cupcakes and try out. Yep. And then add it to other snacks. And then you can buy the candy corn. You can buy a bunch of candy corn for trick-or-treaters or for your friends and family. Indulge and enjoy the day by using and share the photos and posts on social media. Here's 5 facts about National Candy Corn Day. 1, the snack used to be called chicken feed. 2, the Goetz Candy Company was the first to mass manufacture candy corn. And annually, 35 million pounds or 9 billion pieces of candy corn are consumed worldwide. That gives me a headache just thinking about it. 1 serving of candy corn has 140 calories. And candy corn is one of the top 10 most popular Halloween candies. Wow. And here's the common traditions for the national why we love why we love this day. It's a tradition. Candy corn is a staple for Halloween, and the holiday is just not the same without a helping of this unique treat. They've been around for more than a century and deserve recognition for their longevity. And the colorful and amazing tasting corn we all know and love has no competition in our eyes. It's a beast in its own lane with 3 flavors of meat in one bite. And finally, the versatility of candy corn is unreal, with top chefs like Amy Leming even commenting on how many fun changes you can do without it. And there you have it, friends. National Candy Corn Day. What better way to start it off on Halloween week with that particular treat? And speaking of treats, well, when we come back, we're going to look at our first cover story, the history of the pumpkin. We'll be right back right after this.
Halloween's coming. What are you going to do about it? Whether you do a little or a lot, be an original this Halloween and find yourself at Hallmark.
Hallmark has a way.
And at participating Hallmark stores, get your hands on the Spooky Sounds tape, full of creepy sounds and Halloween theme songs. $1.95 with any $5 Hallmark purchase, only at participating Hallmark stores. It's a scream.
The Halloween Hall of Fame will continue after these messages. The Halloween experts at Magic Manor have everything you'll need this year, including actual character masks from famous motion pictures. And they can show you the proper application of makeup to impress that special someone. Magic Manor's professional hand-painted custom masks start as low as $250. This Halloween, remember Magic Manor. Wigs, masks, makeup, costumes, shockingly authentic. Magic Manor, East Wind Mall.
Hey, Ronald, what are those things you're wearing?
My trick-or-treat safety cups. They're shiny aluminum foil with bright orange stripes, so they reflect light.
Neat! Where'd you get them?
Right at McDonald's. This Halloween, be sure you're all wearing McDonald's trick-or-treat safety cups. Children should be seen and not hurt.
Make Halloween fun with one-stop shopping at Woolworth or Woolco for your Halloween needs. Costumes from $1.83 to $3.99, like $6 Million Man, Bionic Woman, superheroes, Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, and a new favorite for girls, Holly Hobby. You can get wrapped candies of every kind, bubblegum, lollipops, fun-sized candy bars. Get this Halloween record, sounds to make you shiver, just $1.89. Make Halloween fun and easy. Make just one stop at Woolworth or Woolco.
This Halloween, give the safe treat
Thank you.
that helps treat the disabled.
Thank you.
Give Easter Seal safe Halloween coupons.
Thank you.
Good for special treats at local stores and restaurants.
Thank you.
Give Easter Seal safe Halloween coupons
Thank you.
and give the treat that gives treatment.
Thank you.
Safe Halloween booklets are now available at these fine stores. Support a safe Halloween for children everywhere.
Halloween's a perfect time for baking
Spooky cookies! Just roll out Pillsbury sugar cookies, cut, bake and decorate, then feed them to your goblins! So much fun there!
Scary!
This Halloween, capture your ghosts and goblins on genuine Kodak film from Thrifty. Whether it's print, slide, or movie film, Kodak is the choice of professionals. Thrifty carries a full line of Kodak film, including C126-24 exposure, C110 and C135 24 exposure in regular and high-speed print film, KR135 36 exposure slide film, and Super 8 movie film. Remember, the sharper you want your memories, the more you need Kodak film and Thrifty.
I'll have to do something about that face.
Introducing Spooky Goop, horrifying monster makeup you make up at home. Spooky Goop's bubbling lizard lips, bat bones, and toad toes create a ghoulish goo that makes a monster out of you.
Now that's a face no mother could love.
Spooky Goop, spine-tingling makeup for Halloween or any unearthly occasion.
Welcome back to DMS 3000 News Live. It's episode 62 on this Monday afternoon, October 30th, 2023. Hope you're enjoying the new time slot here. I've already got some comments saying, yeah, it works out better than the morning time slot from Luke Jeffers. He says, mostly because of my work at job, but yeah, I have things to take care of before Taylor's birthday party tonight in between the Apple event. Great. Happy birthday, Taylor. We wish you a very happy birthday today and hope you get a lot of great presents and don't eat too much candy, okay? For that matter. Okay, let's now go on to our cover stories for today. We're starting off with the first one, the history of the pumpkin. Yeah, the pumpkin is a vernacular and typical term for a cultivated orange and round mature winter squash of species and varieties in the genus Cucurbita that has culinary and cultural significance. But there is no agreed upon botanical or scientific meaning, and depending on the vernacular, its color and shape may vary. The term pumpkin is sometimes used interchangeably with squash or winter squash, and is commonly used for some cultivars as Cucurbita agrosperma, Cucurbita ficifolia, Cucurbita maxima, Cucurbita moschata, and Cucurbita pepo. Native to North America, northeastern Mexico, and the southern United States, the pumpkins are one of the oldest domesticated plants, having been used as early as 7,000 to 5,500 BC. Today, many pumpkins of varied species and cultivars are widely grown for food as well as for aesthetic and cultural uses. The pumpkin's thick shell contains edible seeds and pulp. Now, pumpkin pie, for instance, is a traditional part of Thanksgiving meals in Canada and the United States, and pumpkins are frequently used as autumnal seasonal decorations and carved as jack-o'-lanterns for decoration around Halloween. Although commercially, canned pumpkin puree and pumpkin pie fillings are usually made of different pumpkin varieties from those used for jack-o'-lanterns. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, the English word pumpkin derives from the ancient Greek word pepon, or meaning melon. Now, under this theory, the term transitioned through the Latin word peponum and the Middle French word pompon to the early modern English pompignon, which was changed to pumpkin by the 17th century English colonists shortly after encountering pumpkins upon their arrival in what is now the northeastern United States. There is a proposed alternate derivation for public pumpkin from the Massachusetts word po-pumpkin, meaning grows forth round. Now, this term could have been used by the Wampanoag people who speak the Wampanoag dialect of Massachusetts when introducing pumpkins to English pilgrims at Plymouth Colony, located in present-day Massachusetts. Now, the English word squash is derived from a Massachusetts word variously described as astasquash, or closely related to the Narragansett language. Wow. Now, researchers have noted that the term pumpkin and related terms like ayote and calabaza are applied to a range of winter squash with varying size and shape. The term tropical pumpkin is sometimes used for pumpkin cultivars of the species Cucurbita moschata. Pumpkin fruits are a type of berry known as a pepo. Characteristics commonly used to define pumpkin include smooth and slightly ribbed skin and deep yellow to orange color, although white, green, and other pumpkin colors also exist. And while Cucurbita pepo pumpkins generally weigh between 3 and 8 kilograms, or 6 to 18 pounds, giant pumpkins can exceed a ton in mass. Most are varieties of C. maxima that were developed through the efforts of botanical societies and enthusiast farmers. The largest cultivars frequently reach weights of over 75 pounds, and in October of this year, the record for heaviest pumpkin was set at 2,749 pounds. The oldest evidence of Cucurbita pepo are pumpkin fragments found in Mexico that are dated between 7,000 and 5,500 BC. Pumpkins and other squash species, alongside maize and beans, feature in the Three Sisters method of companion planting practiced by many North American indigenous societies. However, large modern pumpkin cultivars are typically excluded as their weight may damage the other crops. And within decades after Europeans began colonizing North America, illustrations of pumpkins similar to the modern cultivars small sugar pumpkin and Connecticut field pumpkin were published in Europe. Pumpkins are a warm weather crop that is usually planted by early July in the northern hemisphere. Pumpkins require that soil temperatures 8 centimeters or 3 inches deep, or at least 15.5 degrees Celsius or 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and that the soil holds water well. Pumpkin crops may suffer if there's a lack of water because of temperatures below 65 degrees Fahrenheit, or if grown in soils that become waterlogged. Within these conditions, pumpkins are considered hardy, even if many leaves and portions of the vine are removed or damaged. The plant can quickly grow secondary vines to replace what was removed. Pumpkins produce both a male and female flower, with fertilization usually performed by the bees. In America, pumpkins have historically been pollinated by the native squash bee, Peponapis prunosa. But that bee has declined, probably partly due to pesticide sensitivity. Ground-based bees, such as squash bees and the eastern bumblebee, are better suited to manage the larger pollen particles that pumpkins create. 1 hive per acre is recommended by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. If there's inadequate bees for pollination, gardeners may have to hand pollinate. Inadequately pollinated pumpkins usually start growing but fail to develop. As one of the most popular crops in the United States, in 2017, over 680 million kilograms or 1.5 billion pounds of pumpkins were produced. The top pumpkin producing states include Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and California. Pumpkin is the state squash of Texas. And according to the Illinois Department of Agriculture, 95% of the U.S. crop intended for processing is grown in Illinois. Indeed, 41% of the overall popular pumpkin crop for all uses originates in the state, and more than 5 times than that of the nearest competitor, California, whose pumpkin industry is centered in the San Joaquin Valley, and the majority of that comes from 5 counties in the central part of the state. Nestle, operating under the brand name Libby's, produces 85% of the processed pumpkin in the United States at their plant in Morton, Illinois. In the fall of 2009, rain in Illinois devastated the Libby's pumpkin crop, which, combined with a relatively weak 2008 crop, depleting that year's reserves, resulted in a shortage affecting the entire county during the Thanksgiving holiday season. Another shortage, somewhat less severe, affected the 2015 crop. Well, the pumpkin crop in the western United States, which constitutes approximately 3 to 4% of the national crop, is grown primarily for the organic market. Terry County, Texas, has a substantial pumpkin industry centered largely on miniature pumpkins. Illinois farmer Sarah Frey is called the Pumpkin Queen of America and sells around 5 million pumpkins annually, predominantly used for jack-o'-lanterns. In a 100-gram amount, raw pumpkin provides 110 kilojoules or 26 kilocalories of food energy and is an excellent source of provitamin A, beta-carotene, and vitamin A. Vitamin C is present in moderate content, but no other nutrients are in significant amounts. Pumpkin is 92% water, 6.5% carbohydrate, 0.1 in fat, and 1% protein or table protein. Most parts of the pumpkin plant are edible, including the fleshy shell, the seeds, the leaves, and the flowers. And when ripe, the pumpkin can be boiled, steamed, or roasted. Pumpkins that are immature may be eaten as summer squash. In North America, pumpkins are part of the traditional autumn harvest, eaten mashed and making its way into soups and purees. Often, pumpkin flesh is made into pie, various kinds of which are a traditional staple of the Canadian and American Thanksgiving holidays. Pumpkin puree is sometimes prepared and frozen for later use. In the southwestern United States and Mexico, pumpkin and squash flowers are a popular and widely available food item. They may be used to garnish dishes or dredged in a batter, then fried in oil. You can also eat the leaves, the seeds, and you can also make pumpkin seed oil too. And they also use it for animal feed. Of course, on Halloween, we also carve the pumpkin, as you know, or use it as a jack-o'-lantern. There's so many ways you can harvest the pumpkin for jack-o'-lanterns. I've seen some pretty interesting things and some different carvings, some far-fetched and some very traditional. One way or another, though, going back 7,000 years to the BC for the pumpkin is an amazing adventure, folks. The uses for pumpkins are amazing. Animals like to eat them. Hippopotamuses love them as much as anything else. Baby hippo Fritz and his family love their treat every year. And you can go see them at the Cincinnati Zoo and follow them on Facebook as well, as Fritz and his family, Fiona, his mom, basically enjoy a pumpkin smashing festival right there in the water that you can watch them munching on pumpkins to this very day. Cuteness overload in all of its glory. Thank you for the history of the pumpkin. Try pumpkin pie is really good, but I've had some great squash, and if you put if you roast a pumpkin or you cook it or you mash it, put a little cinnamon in it. Really helps. It's a great treat. It's a wonderful side dish when you want to make pork chops, or even if you have like a not much of a steak, but you might want to try them instead of mashed potatoes, something that might give you a little more nutritional value. Whatever which way you use pumpkins, remember, they've been around a long time, and they deserve your respect. Thank you, Mr. Jack-O-Lantern, wherever you are. Happy Halloween. Next up, we're going to be looking at the history of trick-or-treating right after the break when we come back on this edition of DMS 3000 News Live, right after this.
I just had the greatest idea. Let's spend the night in the fun house.
This better be good.
It's going to be great.
Something is alive in the funhouse. Something deadly. Something evil.
I don't know what that thing is.
Something that tonight will turn the funhouse into a carnival of terror. The Funhouse, rated R, starts Friday at a theater near you.
Last year, one of everyone's favorite candies appeared in a Halloween-sized pack.
Skittles.
And word spread quickly.
Is this the house that gives Skittles? See, I told ya.
I, Speedy McGreedy, have created Frankenstein Mouth.
I want juicy burgers.
We'll go to Hardee's.
Burgers are juicy and hearty.
Right, Ivan. Hardee's job broils them.
Let's say hello to Hardee's.
It's Halloween time. When you buy a burger and soft drink at Hardee's, you get a coin to put in the fun machine, which gives you a Halloween prize.
I got a creepy crawly Halloween thing. I got a Halloween ring.
The fun machine at participating Hardee's.
Wednesday, it's a hair-raising Halloween happening. Can she begin it? First, that Emmy-winning Fat Cat. It's the trick-or-treat trail.
I'm no scaredy cat.
It's all new Garfield's Halloween Adventure. Then,
I hear the Great Pumpkin.
the Halloween classic, It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, right after Garfield Wednesday.
Toys R Us has the Big Bird Halloween costume and the Yoda Halloween costume for trick-or-treating.
What strange creatures are lurking in the night? Ah, skull face, mummy face too. Oh, ghoul face. What a frightful sight. Yes, Mom, this Halloween your kids can have fun creating their own scary disguise with Kooky Spooks makeup. They just smear it on. When the makeup dries, it cracks to make them look really old and ghoulish. Add in the sheet and the costume's complete. Kooky Spooks makeup kits, 6 frightening disguises to choose from.
Stephen King, author of Carrie Said, Evil Dead, is the most ferociously original horror film of the year. If you think he's kidding, see for yourself. Evil Dead. They got up on the wrong side of the grave. Evil Dead from New Line Cinema.
Starts tomorrow at these theaters. Check newspapers for times.
I think you'll like this house. Isn't this supposed to be haunted? Haunted? What an absurd idea. So, I mean, what would a ghost be doing here? Haunted.
David?
No other diet soft drink delivers the real cola taste of 1-calorie Diet Coke. The real one. It's lifting more and more spirits every day.
Just for the taste of it.
The move is on to Diet Coke.
Diet Coke.
Watch out for him. It's
started to happen again.
Dad!
I'm in trouble.
You've had some scary dreams, okay? Help!
Daddy can't help you now. Freddy is back on Elm Street, and he's not a welcome visitor. A Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 2. Freddy's Revenge. Rated R from New Line Cinema.
Now showing at a theater near you.
Welcome back to DMS 3000 News Live. It's episode 62, 5:06 p.m. right now here at the WJDC studios in beautiful Vito, Florida via the David 3000 network. So as we were continuing on our look at our these next two shows today and tomorrow will be our Halloween themed shows. As you can see in our background, we have the only way to actually see this background would be to that's the only way you'll be able to actually see it. So I'll try to get a better background that has some more color on it. So this would be like the eve of Halloween. And then on tomorrow's show, we'll have a brighter background with more spookier stuff on it for Halloween night. Okay? All right. Now, the history of trick-or-treating. The Halloween custom that originated in Canada in the early 20th century has since become immensely popular across the Anglosphere, including the United States, the UK, Ireland, New Zealand, and Australia. Now, during the October 31st evening of Halloween, children in costumes will travel from house to house asking for treats with the phrase trick or treat. The treat is some form of confectionery, usually candy or sweets, although in some cultures, money is given instead. The trick refers to a threat, usually idle, to perform mischief on the residents or their property if no treat is given. Some people signal that they are willing to hand out treats by putting up Halloween decorations outside their doors. Houses may also leave their porch lights on as a universal indicator that they have candy. Some simply leave treats available on their porches for the children to take freely on the honor system. Now, in northwestern and central Mexico, a similar tradition is practiced called Calaverta, Spanish diminutive for calavera, skull in English, and instead of the customary trick or treat, the children ask, "Can you give me my little skull or me da mia calaverta?" Where a calaverta is a small skull made of sugar or chocolate. The custom has its roots in Scottish and Irish folk tradition, where children would go guising houses, going house to house at Halloween and putting on a small performance to be rewarded with food. This dates back at least as far as the 16th century, as does the tradition of people wearing costumes at Halloween. There are many accounts from the 19th century Scotland and Ireland of people going house to house in costume at Halloween, reciting verses, and sometimes warning of misfortune if they were not welcomed. In North America, the earliest known occurrence of guising, children going from house to house for food or money while disguised in costume, is from 1911. When children were recorded as having done this in the Canadian province of Ontario, Canada. The interjection trick or treat was also first recorded in Ontario in 1917, while going house to house in costume has long been popular among the Scots and Irish. It is only in the 2000s that saying trick or treat has become common in Scotland and Ireland. Prior to this, children in Ireland would commonly say, "Help the Halloween party" at the doors of homeowners. Traditions similar to the modern custom of trick-or-treating extend all the way back to classical antiquity, although it is extremely unlikely that any of them are directly related to the modern custom. The ancient Greek writer Athenaeus of Neurocritus records in his book, the Dionysus, that in ancient times, the Greek island of Rhodes had a custom in which children would go from door to door dressed as swallows singing a song which demanded the owners of the house to give them food and threatened to cause mischief if the owners of the house refused. This tradition was claimed to have been started by the Rhodian lawgiver Cleobulus. Since the Middle Ages, a tradition of mumming on a certain holiday has existed in parts of Britain and Ireland, and it involved going door to door in costume, performing the short scenes or parts of plays in exchange for food and drink. The custom of trick-or-treating on Halloween may come from the belief that supernatural beings, or the souls of the dead, roamed the earth at this time and needed to be appeased. It may otherwise have originated in a Celtic festival, Samhain, held on October 31st through November 1st, to mark the beginning of winter in Ireland, Scotland, and the Isle of Man, and Calan Gaeaf in Wales, Cornwall, and Brittany. The festival is believed to have pre-Christian roots, and in the 9th century, the Catholic Church made November 1st All Saints' Day. Among Celtic-speaking peoples, it was seen as a liminal time when the spirits or fairies, the AOSC, and that's C for SI, like yes, and the souls of the dead came into our world and were appeased with offerings of food and drink. Similar beliefs and customs were found in other parts of Europe, and it is suggested that trick-or-treating evolved from a tradition whereby people impersonated the spirits or the souls of the dead and received offerings on their behalf. S.V. Peddle suggests that they personify the old spirits of the winter, who demanded reward in exchange for good fortune. Impersonating these spirits or souls was also believed to protect oneself from them. Starting as far back as the 15th century, among Christians, there had been a custom of sharing soul cakes at All Hallow Tide, which is October 31st through November 2nd. People would visit houses and take soul cakes either as representatives of the dead or in return for praying for their souls. Later, people went from parish to parish at Halloween, begging soul cakes by singing under the windows some such verse as this: "Souls, souls for a soul cake. Pray you, good mistress, a soul cake." They typically asked for mercy on all Christian souls for a soul cake, and it was known also as souling, and was recorded in parts of Britain, Flanders, southern Germany, and Australia. Shakespeare mentions the practice in his comedy The Two Gentlemen of Verona, when Speed accuses his master of bullying, whimpering or whining like a beggar at Hallowmas. In Western England, most of them the counties bordering Wales, souling was common. According to one 19th century English writer, parties of children dressed up in fantastic costume went round to the farmhouses and cottages, singing a song and begging for cakes, spoken of as soul cakes, apples, money, or anything that the good wise would give them. Guising is in Scotland and Ireland. That's children going from door to door in disguise, and it's traditional and a gift in the form of food, coins, or apples or nuts for the Halloween party. And in more recent times, chocolate is given out to the children. You also have this tradition in South Lancashire. They have gone to wealthy homes in the 1920s, and on account of guising in the 50s in Androsson, North Ayrshire, records a child receiving 12 shillings and a sixpence, having knocked on doors throughout the neighborhood and performed. Growing up in Derry, Northern Ireland in the 60s, the Guardian journalist Michael Bradley recalls children asking, "Any nuts or apples?" And in Scotland and Ireland, the children are always supposed to receive treats if they perform a party trick for the households they go to. This normally takes the form of singing a song or reciting a joke or a funny poem, which the child has memorized before setting out. And while going from door to door in disguise has remained popular among Scots and Irish at Halloween, the North America saying trick or treat has become common in the 2000s. And you can look at more situations with the emergence of trick or treat as it spread finally to North America. It started in 1911, the whole thing of trick or treating, and has gone on since. But they weren't giving out candy until later on. So references were in Chicago, Massachusetts, and there's a whole bunch on the emergence of trick-or-treating as well. And of course, the increased popularity that we know today. Then you have your etiquette, where there's variants. There's also trunk or treat, I've heard of that before, where they put the candy in the trunks, and you go there and you ask for it a trunk or treat. Trunk or treat. I'm sorry. And we were looking at that one for charity, which will be coming back as soon as we can, which is the 76th anniversary of UNICEF. That's going to be coming up on the program right after this commercial break. Started in 1950, called Trick or Treat for UNICEF, in which trick-or-treaters ask people to give money for the organization, usually instead of collecting candy. Participating trick-or-treaters say when they knock at doors, "Trick or treat for UNICEF." And in Canada, students from the local high schools, colleges, and universities dress up to collect food donations for the local food banks as a form of trick-or-treating. This is called Trick or Eat. So we'll be looking at that fantastic 76th anniversary of UNICEF when we come back right after this.
As Halloween approaches, you have to prepare yourself for what might happen. More orange sprinkles. It's a special time of year, and Dunkin' Donuts is dressing up their donuts for the occasion. And here's the werewolf. So come to Dunkin' Donuts and get into the spirit of Halloween.
We'd like some Halloween donuts, please.
Oh.
Anything could happen tonight with Mickey Mouse and M&M's candies. Everything's gonna be just right. A special time for fun and M&M's from Mickey Mouse and friends. The magic never ends. Grab on to that M&M's feeling.
My little goblins will be out long after dark, so I depend on Duracell batteries to light their way, because Duracell lasts longer.
Tests prove after just a few hours of continuous use, regular carbon batteries wear out. But you can get up to 5 times more use from Duracell batteries.
That's why I trust my kids' safety at night to Duracell.
Duracell. The copper top battery. No regular battery looks like it.
We're home! Or lasts like it.
It's Halloween, the night he came home, when the deepest fears are made real, when the darkest nightmares come true, when the most courageous soul cowers in the face of evil. First time on TV, a modern horror classic from John Carpenter. Parental discretion advised. This film contains elements of shock and suspense. And now, Halloween, you won't be watching it alone.
You think I'm mad, don't you? Perhaps we're both mad.
Cujo?
From the novel by Stephen King, creator of Carrie and The Shining, comes a chilling new tale.
Cujo.
Now, there's a new name for terror. Cujo, directed by Louis Teague. Rated R. Now playing. Check newspapers for a theater near you.
Oh, I do enjoy an evening with a little light entertainment. But when your video heads get dirty, you lose your picture. Not a pretty sight. Happily, this new Polaroid video cassette will help you. It actually cleans your heads as it plays, so dirty heads needn't haunt you. New Polaroid video cassettes. Get the picture?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Friday the 13th. You may only see it once, but that will be enough. Friday the 13th. Rated R.
There's a vacancy at the Bates Motel.
Norman, is that you?
it's Buzz McKenzie, and it could be you. Look for this display and enter Bud Light Psycho Sweepstakes to win a Bud Light party with Spud McKenzie at the Psycho Mansion. You can even get a mug like Spud's at participating retailers. Wow!
That Spud is so cool, it's scary.
And now we present Scary Tales.
The 76th anniversary of UNICEF is happening right now, and it was invented by Mary Emma Allison. You know, in 1949, the Allisons were living in Bridesburg, a neighborhood in Philadelphia, when Mrs. Allison saw a UNICEF booth collecting funds to send powdered milk to undernourished children around the world. She thought of getting children to collect donations for UNICEF instead of candy. Well, Reverend Clyde Allison introduced the concept to local Presbyterian churches, and on Halloween 1950, the Allisons recruited their own children and their communities to go door to door collecting nickels and dimes in decorated milk cartons to aid children in post-World War II Europe. They collected a total of $17 and donated it all to UNICEF. Now, what is UNICEF really? First off, UNICEF is the nonprofit, non-governmental organization called, look at this. I can't even, man, oh man, oh man. It's got the initials on it here real quick. Now, let me see if I can get this right. Here we go. It is the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. Now officially the United Nations Children's Fund. That's what it is. Now, we go back to the history of what they did on Halloween night. Then in 1953, the United States Committee for UNICEF, later renamed it the U.S. Fund for UNICEF, started actively promoting the program. By the 60s, the concept had expanded throughout the United States with small orange collection boxes distributed to millions of trick-or-treaters. When UNICEF won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1965, U.S. President Lyndon B. Johnson said in his congratulatory letter, "Your UNICEF Trick-or-Treat Day has helped turn a holiday too often marred by youthful vandalism into a program of basic training in world citizenship." Then in 1967, Johnson declared Halloween, October 31st, to be UNICEF Day in the United States, and by 1969, 3.5 million American children were trick-or-treating for donations. Children and adults in the U.S. have collected more than $175 million for Trick-or-Treat for UNICEF. Donations to Trick-or-Treat for UNICEF support UNICEF's global programming, but in 2005, half of the proceeds were targeted to a domestic cause aiding victims of Hurricane Katrina. 2008, the U.S. Fund for UNICEF introduced mobile phone text messaging and donations, as well as a MySpace and a Facebook page. Then in 2014, the U.S. Fund for UNICEF partnered with CrowdRise to expand the campaign's online presence, allowing participants to create personal fundraising web pages in addition to traditional door-to-door trick-or-treating. Trick-or-Treat for UNICEF has also partnered with Coinstar to allow customers to submit their donations through Coinstar machines. The program has also expanded outside of the United States, and UNICEF in Canada began Trick-or-Treat for UNICEF in 1955. The campaign was rebranded after the government of Canada declared October 31st of each year National UNICEF Day in 2000. In 2006, UNICEF Canada discontinued the collection box part of their program, focusing instead on in-classroom fundraising and community engagement. Then in 2015, UNICEF Canada celebrated 60 years of the National UNICEF Day programming, having raised more than $100 million. Nicely done. And that's a very good cause. So if you would like to do that for your worthy cause tomorrow, instead of you getting the treats, you asking for donations through UNICEF, you might be able to make a difference on your next Halloween and actually make it something to look forward to. It is 5 minutes before 5:30, and when we come back, the editorial with our special guest, CEO of the David 3000 Network, David St. Dennis. He's going to talk to you about a very special thing that's brewing along here. I have no idea what's going on. It has nothing to do with me. I'm a good boy. I didn't do anything wrong. But when the CEO comes on and wants to talk, we let him talk. We'll let him talk right after this important message from a word from our sponsor. We'll be right back.
Granola dip. I really dip. Granola dip. Chocolate and granola already in my home. Granola dip.
Quaker Granola Dips, a hauntingly wholesome Halloween treat. Chewy granola dipped in real milk chocolate.
Chocolate and granola, lose my self-control. A granola dip.
The perfect treat for your little monsters.
Gosh, Burger Chef, it's Wolfburger the werewolf.
Where can I get delicious burgers? Where can I get fun food? Where, oh where?
At Burger Chef.
Where? And now at participating Burger Chefs, you can buy fun meals that now come on Halloween magic meal trays. There's a magic trick in each fun meal. There are 10 different magic meal tricks you can collect.
Burger Chef, you're incredible!
Dear Great Pumpkin, I'm looking forward to your arrival on Halloween night.
They're back, all the little Peanuts characters, in a happy Halloween special, filled with ghosties and ghoulies and things that go bump in the night. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, Monday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
10 singers, 9 singers, 8 yummy singers, 7 singers, 6 singers, 5 tasty singers.
Everyone wants to zap gold cake with vanilla frosting, devil's food with chocolate, raspberry with coconut, all with cream centers.
Please one singer to zap.
Right now, in specially marked bonus packs, you'll find a pumpkin decorating kit and 2 extra zingers.
Trick or treat.
1 trick and 2 treats from Dolly Madison.
My big friend, I love the big taste of chocolate in this little Hershey's Kiss.
Hershey's Kisses, the little kiss with the big taste.
Hallmark's ready for Halloween, and you know, it's the strangest thing. Everybody's wild about new scratch and sniff stickers in special trick-or-treat packages, and they're dying to take home these cuddly pumpkin bean bags. And these party decorations are so popular, they seem to just disappear. So come to Hallmark, the Halloween store. We're waiting for you.
Goblins, werewolves, vampires. They're not real, but he is a real nightmare. Jamie Lee Curtis, Donald Pleasance. It's the night he came home. Halloween 2, Thursday at 8 on Channel 17. Parental discretion advised.
I knew I should have worn a costume. Yo, Bo Peep, what you got in your bag?
Introducing Roy Rogers' Big Chicken Deal. 2 plump and juicy pieces of fried chicken, hot, crisp fries, and a fresh baked biscuit. Roy Rogers' Big Chicken Deal, just $1.99.
Don't you even think about it.
They are the children of the corn. They must obey he who walks among the rows. They live in a world where adults are not allowed to live. Children of the corn. A new kind of nightmare. An adult nightmare. Stephen King's Children of the Corn. Rated R.
Coming Friday. Check local newspapers for theaters and showtimes.
Our editorial tonight is a special one from our CEO, David St. Dennis. Usually I do the editorials to talk about something that's related to the program. Well, David tonight is going to talk to us about something that's on his mind that pretty much he wants to get off of his chest. So it is with an honor and a privilege to introduce, of course, our CEO, David St. Dennis. Welcome aboard, sir.
Hello there, Jason.
And we'll let you take over the program for the next half hour. You have the floor. We'll see you at 6 o'clock.
All right. Hopefully I can ask that on from 6 o'clock, but I'll put it backstage. As I'll get rid of this. There we go. Thank you for doing that. And I didn't know that you need 5 commercial blocks, but I think 4 is fine. You can let me know in the private chat for that one. So unfortunately, earlier this morning, I'm just looking at some. Unfortunately, earlier this morning, we got some news that our good friend Kevin Henry, the WKPH Cincinnati on YouTube, the WKPH channel, has been taken down. The reason why is, according to my sources here, is because the game show Go Rush, that is a custom game show they use control for. Apparently, the Discovery Channel doesn't like that for some reason. I don't know if there's a sub they have that I can't remember exactly because I can't remember 1%. So unfortunately, I think the Discovery Channel doesn't like the game show, and that's what his channel was all about, and it's about some game shows and all that good stuff. And unfortunately, due to that, the Go Rush was taken down due to that. It's very unfortunate. I just don't get why YouTube would do this. I mean, we're all making this content for fun here on YouTube because with everything out there in the world, the YouTube or videos is a distraction from the craziness that's going on in the world, because this is what we do for content, is to help you get through your day, whatever you're going through. That's what we're doing it for. We don't need no harm. We don't need, we're not doing this to harm anyone. We're not doing this to hurt, no, copy anybody. We're just doing this for fun. That's all that matters. We're not doing this for the money. I mean, I don't know why YouTube has to be so strict. And guess what? YouTube didn't send him one email from my sources, on why it was, well, actually, he got the email, but didn't say one warning about the channel taking down. So, and I thought it was supposed to be a 3 strike rule, but from my concern, I thought, no copyright strikes at all. And I thought YouTube had a 3 strike rule. But apparently, of course, with all the 4 to 5 seasons of Go Rush, that has to be taken, that channel has to be taken away, unfortunately. So, from my understanding, Scrubs has privated, I think, all the Go Rush episodes. I think I've checked one, but all I know is from my That's Network channel, I've done some Go Rush gameplays with special occasions. Due to the recent events, I have decided to private them for safety reasons. And pretty soon, I'm gonna check my Google Drive to see what videos I've downloaded from my network, and just basically from now on, just to continue downloading videos from my network, just to be safe. I'm gonna start soon, hopefully, to get up earlier and work on that, because I don't want the content to be all in past history. I want it to stay here, and I wish that never happened. I wish that never happened to Kevin, because Kevin is a great guy and great father, great announcer, great host, great content creator. Same with Scrubs. This hurt Scrubs dramatically as well, because Brian Scrubs was the announcer of Go Rush, along with the cameraman as well. This show was on both MVG and WKPH's channel, and it's just very sad because they worked hard on this for so many years, and unfortunately, it's now all gone. And I mean, privated, but for future tapings of it. I don't know what's gonna happen. There go was in the future, but that's up to them, and whatever they decide, no, it's their channel, their decision. And I'm gonna say this to you, YouTube out there: why do you have to do this? This is totally unacceptable. Kevin and Brennan Scruggs are great people, and you lost a great YouTube channel here in the community. WKPH Cincinnati, yes, it has its ups and downs with, not being consistent, but that's the point. We're supposed to do this for fun. This is not a job. We're doing this for fun to entertain people on how we wish. And just unfortunately that this morning that channel is completely dead. WKPH. Hopefully, will it come back? Be able to come back? I have no idea. I doubt it. But as of right now, Kevin Henry has a new YouTube channel called Kevin Henry that just has been up to the public, after the recent events. Even Gold Rush is on postponed production until further notice due to these events. And when I saw that earlier today, I felt very disappointed in YouTube for having to do that, because it was a great channel, and I was even on one of the first press luck videos as well. And I was on Gold Rush once or twice since I joined Edward Jean back in 2022 last year. It was a pleasure to be a contestant on there once or twice. And it's just very sad that all those good memories, hard work to put to their souls, it's now gone for WKPH, and it's just very sad, and it's just very, very disappointed. And sorry if I'm rambling here, but this happened out of nowhere today, and I was confused last night on what was going on. And once I found out exactly what happened, then it was just like, it's another Manic Monday, and that happened. So, I'm not trying to be copyright out the song, just so it's clear. I'm just trying to explain my feelings that this was very disappointing to hear. That's why here on the David Dawson Network, in case if you're having troubles with their content or want to have a platform, this is for you. This is a way to back up your stuff. This is a way to get yourself out there, to have audience. Yes, our audience is up and down right now. But like I said, we're doing this for fun. And I don't care if people want to join the network or not. It's just that long as I have folks watching, that's all that matters to me. Long as I have people supporting me, long as I have, people that work for the channel, that's all that matters to me. I don't do this for a living. Nobody should do this for a living, unless if you are already a millionaire, or maybe did this through some side hustle stuff for like sales on, I don't know, freaking Redbubble. I don't know. And it's just very unfortunate that YouTube doesn't understand that this is supposed to be a freedom platform. That I just hate that YouTube is so strict over the littlest things without any explanation in advance. YouTube is supposed to let us know, hey, you can't do this content. There's been content out there that's out there for years. Those same content is on another person's channel that's just doing fine. I mean, what are we supposed to learn here? What are the rules? What are the rules that we can follow so that way we can do this correctly? And if we can't do the content on here, we can just find another platform. Or just put it out there on Google Drive or whatever and send the videos out there to the people we know. Or just, because there's other social media platforms you can promote for. What do you want from us, YouTube? Is there anything we could do that can make this platform more easier for folks, so that way you won't get in trouble? I mean, we're supposed to do this for fun, and your copyright stuff is more stricter than I ever seen before. And I just wish YouTube had a better understanding that YouTube should have more. Like when let's say you go to school and there's a list of rules to follow, so that way you won't get in trouble. How about you do that, YouTube? Even kids know how to follow rules, but you can't do that. You can't let us do that without any explanation in advance. You just decide to take a channel out of nowhere. I mean, I just don't understand. And I mean, I've seen more YouTube channels take it down in the past 2 years. And this is very sad that YouTube has come to the point where, we can't just follow things correctly. They keep, from copyrights to back in 2020 when all the bots, trolls are coming in and same with YouTube taking down streams, out of nowhere, or just stopping them. I don't know. I'm gonna highlight this comment. YouTube is ridiculous about the rules and regulations, and that is BS. And I'm sorry about Kevin's channel, WKPH Cincinnati. I enjoyed Go Rush and the hosted by Kevin. And I agree with you 100%. Those are my feelings. I want you would as well there, BMR, because this is getting tiring. I mean, let me tell you guys right now. For some reason, when I do certain game shows, game show gameplays, some of them are copyright claim and some of them are not. Is it the commercials I put in? Is it the gameplay audio? It does it for both ways. So what am I supposed to learn here? I mean, I just wish YouTube had a better rules system. That's all I want from YouTube. A better rules system. I don't care about how you guys control the trolls, because we can take care of that. That's what moderators are for. And I've learned over the years to not get hurt by the trolls because they don't mean crap to you in your life. I learned that. So all I want from YouTube is basically have a better rule system that you follow, so that way we can all be happy here. I don't care if we're supposed to cuss or not for monetization. I mean, yes, even though that is a dumb rule by itself, because that's what everybody does. Even the Pat McAfee show cusses on YouTube, and they still get monetized, but other channels don't. I don't know. That was back in 2017. I don't care. I just want YouTube to have a better rule system. That's all I want. I don't care. So just, and I want a request to everybody. Just please give us your thoughts and love and support. Prayers to Mr. Henry, Mr. Scruggs, and also Mr. Myers too, because Jason Myers was also part of the Go Rush team. For their hard work and dedication. I mean, we give up our weekends, our weekdays, our relaxing time just to do these content for all of you to come hang out with everybody. And this is what we get. YouTube, come on now. I just want to request YouTube, stop doing this. My request to everybody who is watching this right now, Brandon, Danny, whoever else, just please have a thoughts of and much love, support to Cameron Henry, Brandon Scruggs, Jason Myers, everybody at the MBG team, WKPH team, for them going through this difficult time, because this is also danger of Scruggs' channel as well, because he also posts the Go Rush content, which I don't know if it's private now, but I don't know. But still, I just hope you guys try to be patient and still have your support and love, because that is going to be one of the worst feelings in the world, is that all of your heart, dedication, work to these content is taken away for no reason at all, just only an explanation that you didn't get in advance or warnings. Not even going to YouTube copyright school. What the heck that is. So that's all I gotta say to get out my chest with these 15 minutes here. I don't know. I can't go for that half hour long, but that's all I have to say. Big much love, support, Kevin Henry, Brian Scruggs, everybody else. So hashtag WKPH and MBT strong. I'm going to chase it back here.
All right. Well, I hope you were able to get that off your chest there, sir.
Yes, indeed.
How are you doing otherwise?
I'm doing good, despite that, and, nosebleed this morning, of course, which I get all the time. But other than that, I'm doing all right.
And I think it's important to know that, why we stress the fact that when you have a channel that, you put out content regardless of that channel. We said this when we were teaming up to launch the remake of your channel 7-8 months ago, 9 now. Now we're in it, 10 months already. It's almost going to be a year for us working together.
Yeah, we talked about doing this around this time last year.
Yeah, and we told everybody this is an important thing to understand, that at any time anybody's channel can get whacked for no reason. YouTube has this stupid thing that if somebody don't like your channel, they're going to find a way to destroy you. Now, whoever put out that complaint against Kevin Henry...
It was Discovery Channel.
Yeah, but... okay, but somebody else could have also put a complaint out anonymously. We don't know. There's so much algorithms that YouTube has that they don't even need a human or another channel to even do that too. They have robotic AI, things of that sort, and you just got to watch your content when you do it. And that's what we've told everybody. Back your stuff up on our channel. Come over here and we can work with you. When you're a network channel, you can do things of that sort and get everybody on the same bandwagon. We love to have everybody there. Oh, we got another comment here. Let's see. Brandon Martin says, I can understand on Kevin's part of stepping down as host of Gold Rush, and also Gold Rush is a game show. However, Gold Rush, maybe he can rename the title. That might.
Here's the thing: is if they do that, then I don't know if they could, but here's the problem: on the game show control, it would still say Gold Rush. So.
Yeah.
So we can't work around that, unfortunately.
That's interesting. Well, there's got to be some way around that they can, you got the Discovery Channel and Kevin Henry can work something out. Maybe he can write to them and say, "Hey, look, we didn't know we were tying your hands on this."
Plus, who even knows about the Go Rush reality TV series? Nobody knows what that is.
Yeah.
I mean, some people do, but the point was like, why does that have to do with anything for copyright? It just doesn't make sense to me.
And one thing is, he should have just got at least one strike, not even a complete takedown. He should have got a community strike or a copyright strike, and then
that's supposed to be the rules.
That's supposed to be exactly right. If they file for copyright, not to have a channel taken, but at that point, they wanted his channel gone because maybe they thought he was a threat, but he's no threat.
He's a great guy. Trust me.
I believe it. Yeah. He's I haven't met him in person. I would want to extend my condolences as well too to Kevin Henry as well and to Brandon Scruggs. I work with Brandon Scruggs, and we're going to be working tonight also as well. We've got 2 recordings.
I have Scott versus Adam and also Gianni, the other player, by the way.
Fantastic.
And sorry to interrupt, but I didn't know that you need that 5 commercial blocks. So that was only 4.
Oh no, we're good because we're going to be concluding in about 10 minutes here. So actually, I've been ending the programs between 45 minutes of the hour, 35 minutes of the hour. The one thing I wanted to mention is on these editorials, and they're very important to understand, is that the editorials are opinions. Okay, We talked about this. We had a discussion about it. Again, there are topics that I would think that everybody out there would like us to discuss. And I've mentioned this before at the top of the program. I've mentioned it at the bottom of the program. I mentioned it as a sign out that this news program is for you guys, all of it, not just us doing it, but for you to know what's going on in history, know what's going on in the world. We're not a focused news program where we're giving you the war in Israel, which is very important, or
But,
what Joe
but the
Biden.
thing is, we don't want to have people let down. We want people to be positive on the news.
Right, but at the same time, we're not focusing on just one news subject,
Yeah.
news topic. We give you the headlines every day, and you draw your own conclusions from those headlines. We just give it to you, and we move on. But the cover stories that we cover usually are themed for the day, and of course, I would like some feedback too, also what people like on the segments, because I also, our views are very important to us here at the David 3000 Network, and some days the views are low, and that's why we changed the channel time slot to 4:00.
And also because I was going to say, Jason's computer keeps crashing. And he's not paying for it.
It crashed 7 times on Wipe Those Tears last Wednesday night, and I was not too happy about that. And then it crashed half an hour before we went on the air. So I'm not sure what's going on with my computer. Why?
You need to take your time this week to clean up all your stuff and put on Google Drive or something. And
Yeah.
maybe,
And
a, maybe a new update.
Yeah, and if anybody would like to build me a new computer, that would be great. I'll pay you back some way.
Is your computer updated or no?
My friend is the one who built it. Usually does the updates on it.
So you can't do
I have to
anything.
go over and get him to do some work on it. Hasn't been updated in a while, but it's usually constantly supposed to update itself. But even at that rate, it's not it's not been doing it really.
Well, you need to call him back to see what's going on. No.
Well, I'll just tell him that the blue screen of death is what's really the problem here.
Yeah.
I'll be in the middle of something, and then, of course, the computer just decides, blue screen of death, screw you.
Yeah, that's also why I have to change it to 4 p.m. so that way I get the backstage here just in case, because we don't want any people out the loop.
Yeah. So the program slot of 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. and 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the mornings now opens up, and whoever wants to do a morning program can, if they really want to. The idea is,
excuse me, never mind.
Yeah,
the second time over there will be very complicated for anyone else. So.
Yeah, I'm just pretty much. I realized that my door dashing from 7 to 3 is really important, because I if I do a 7 to 3, I actually make some pretty good money instead of getting up later and having to force myself to get up. So you actually see the better me in the afternoon and at night than you do in the morning.
Yeah.
So that's the way it goes. And again, our condolences to Kevin Henry and Brandon Scruggs.
Yeah.
I know these guys are going to bounce back and come back with some better project. For right now, we offer you guys a chance to come onto the network. Excuse me, my mouth is, I'm coughing. I don't know why.
But here's the thing, we can't do Go Rush right now, continue on, because that's...
No, unfortunately, we don't want to take the risk, and we might have to delete what we have on David.
That's all Kevin's channel was basically about. But
yeah, isn't it amazing how after a while they do catch up with you? You're going good for a while, and at the peak of what you've got going on, then they shoot you. They get you at your highest, and then they shoot you down at your lowest.
Yeah,
but that's the breaks. And I've had channels shut down before, and if I come bounce back, and it's only a matter of time when somebody doesn't want to see you succeed, or some company don't want you to succeed either. And it gets to that point where YouTube is just allowing the higher end channels that have networks to be on YouTube, and eventually it's going to get to a point where people are going to be like, no, we're not going to watch you. Why should we watch you on YouTube when you're already on TV network? Why should we watch you on YouTube? YouTube is for the people, not for the companies.
It's on my mobile.
Yeah, it is, but that's the way it goes. But again,
I was going to say, just to let everybody know that Wheel of Fortune will now be taping on the weekends, and for Price is Right, we'll be taping at least once or twice during the weekday. I haven't got back into that. I'll also be doing Price is Right on Saturdays as well once in a while, but that's the main schedule right there. So just want to get that out there. For the Moneyball, the Hidden Envelope, and the Punch Bunch, I already filmed 6 episodes of that, I think. So I'm just having that on hold for over a month at least. So
there you go. You're trying to catch up with the projects, and that's a good thing. And I'm trying to catch up on my YouTube channels as well. Well, boss, as they say, we have to close the show, as they can say and go.
Fine. 4 minutes.
Yeah. Anything else you need to mention to the audience before we call it a night?
Well, the World Series is on tonight. Arizona will be hosting the Texas Rangers at 8 p.m. So all you guys need to know, basically, for those big sports fans. I know with Monday Night Football as well. I actually have to look to see what the teams are, and that is the Raiders and Lions tonight. So,
all right. Well, we'll see what
and
happens.
the Jets, Jason, they are 4-3. Your New York Jets, 4-3 at Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, we pulled out the win is a win. We beat the Giants, and the only downside of it is we got to wait another 4 years before we can play them again. That's ridiculous.
Wait, that's how it works every 4 years?
Yeah, they I think their contract they contract out a game against each other for every 4 years. It's like
come on, man.
Come on. I know that's baloney. They should be playing at least twice a year.
They get like the Subway Series of baseball. You know?
That's right. I mean, they're going to wind up being in the Super Bowl if that was the case. They're allowed to do that. So why can't they play during the regular season and show their fans, some great stuff at MetLife Stadium? They play at the same stadium. I'll have more about that tomorrow on the segment of sports for the football.
Save it for the editorial. I don't care.
Yeah, I'll definitely have a lot to say about that. We got to get going. Thank you again, David, for coming on and expressing yourself as always. I'm Jason DeCanio for the DMS 3000 News Live. For always, remember, be honest, be real, keep it simple, stupid, kiss. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Don't forget to subscribe to the David Dyson Network for great more content like this one.